Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hand of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa Bay area Chick-fil-A restaurants. By Vermost Insurance. By Mahoney's Auto Repair. By the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. By Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action. By Iceman Development, LLC. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the home team on a playoff Saturday. Yes, it is a busy day for yours truly, and probably for you as well, as you try and navigate through a 1 o'clock Magic game and a 5 o'clock Lightning game. And Jason, you were looking at Twitter and saw that the fans are concerned as to which game I'm going to be at.
Yeah, you were showing me that. That was it. That was funny. I like the guy who goes to the Orlando Magic Guru. He had some great comments, I thought. And I love the name there.
Yeah. So, but I am doing the Lightning game tonight at 5 o'clock. It was just too difficult to try and do both, with the Magic playing at 1 o'clock and probably playing until 3:30, quarter to 4.
Right.
Just wouldn't work. So I'll be at the Lightning game tonight, was at the Magic game on Thursday night for their 38-point victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
You had a much better time there than you would have at the Lightning game. That was impressive, though. Yeah, almost 40-point win for Orlando. Big time bounce back there.
They were actually up by 40, and they put the reserves in, and it ended up a 38-point win. But as many have said so accurately, it's one game, and they're still behind 2-1 in the series.
Yeah.
And if they can win today, that would guarantee a Game 6 back in Orlando on Friday night. But that's a big if, to come out and beat the Cavaliers again today. We'll see what happens. As for the Lightning, they're on life support. They've got to win today or the season is over. And hopefully they'll be able to get it done. I liked the comments from John Cooper after Game 3. He said, anyone who believes will show up for practice tomorrow. If you don't believe, then don't show up. And, of course, everyone's going to be there. There's not going to be anyone that's going to miss practice and say, I don't believe. But he's kind of calling him out, his team out.
You can look at it this way. First of all, it's not over till it's over. You have to win 4 games to win a series, not 3. So until the Panthers get that 4th win, the series is not over. The Lightning have to look at it, I think, as one game at a time at this point. You can't have the mindset, now we're down 0-3, we got to win 4 straight. No.
It's almost one period at a time.
Exactly. But basically, you win. You have to win a game this next game. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. Nothing else at all. It's this game. If you win it, then you can focus all your energy on the next game after that, and go forward just like that, one game at a time. I think that the Panthers, what they've shown through the first 3 games is they're the better team. They've made the games have been close. They've all been competitive. It's not like the Lightning have played terrible. The Panthers have made more key plays at key moments of the game to make the difference, and that's normally what the better teams will do. They were in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. This year they've had the better regular season than the Lightning, so they appear to be the better team. But you know that they're going to try to close out the Lightning today because they know the Lightning's championship pedigree. The Lightning have been there. They've done that. They've won championships.
Don't want to leave the door open if you're the Panthers.
Absolutely not, especially not to a team like this, because if any team, it's highly unlikely that the Lightning will come back and win this series. But if there's a team that could do it, it would be the Lightning, given that the players that they have the core of those championship teams is basically still there. Nikita Kucherov has to show up, though. He's been, I think, probably the biggest disappointment for the team thus far.
Well, what the Panthers have done is taken him out of the equation by having 2 guys on him at all times, and basically they're daring the Lightning somebody else to beat them other than Nikita Kucherov.
Right.
And by the way, 3 different teams have come back from an 0-3 deficit to win the series.
Yes.
The most recent being in 2014. So it's been 10 years since it was done, but it has been done on 3 different occasions.
Yeah, it's happened more in the NHL than the other sports with involving series. Of course, it doesn't happen very often. It's very unlikely. But again, momentum can be very funny, and sometimes all it takes is one game to start to turn things. If the Lightning can manage to win today, they stay alive. If they were to then take a game at Florida at Sunrise, then you start to make it interesting, because 2 wins in a row, you've got the momentum, and then the Panthers would start to feel some of the pressures like, wait a minute, this is getting interesting.
It back to Game 6 in Tampa.
Exactly. That's why, I think the Panthers are going to try all they can to finish the Lightning off tonight. And if the Lightning can hold serve, if they can come back and win tonight, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It'll be a lot of fun at Amalie Arena today, a 5 o'clock puck drop. And my understanding is that there's a whole lot going on in downtown Tampa today, and parking is going to be at a premium. So if you are going to the game today, or if you're one of the thousands that'll be out on the plaza watching the game on the big screen, give yourself plenty of time. I do want to mention that if you don't have a ticket for the game today, you are able to, for $5 to buy a ticket that goes to the Lightning Foundation, and you can actually watch the game on the Thunder Alley. Outside of the arena. So that's available for those that don't have a ticket. Also, I want to get your thoughts on the Buccaneers and the draft. They I thought, made a good choice, Jason, when they took a center in the first pick. They seem to have had a hard time keeping people healthy at that position, and that's certainly a place where they could use some depth.
Well, I like the pick too. Graham Barton out of Duke. He's played center. He's also played tackle along the line. He's versatile. He can play various positions on the offensive line. And offensive line is one of those areas. It seems like you can never have enough good offensive linemen. That's ultimately where so many of the games, especially the championship games, are won, in the trenches. The offensive line, you protect the quarterback, you open up lanes for the running backs. It's key. It's incredibly important. And Graham Barton is showing highlights, talking about him, hearing some of the analysts. He's a strong guy. He plays kind of with an edge, a little bit of a nastiness there.
That's what you need.
That's exactly what you need. And so I think that's a great addition. And then with the second pick, you're getting Chris Braswell, outside linebacker from Alabama. Another area, you lost Shaq Barrett and Devin White. So he, that was a little bit of an area of need. And if he comes from Alabama, he's good. I mean, on the defensive side there.
Want to say hello to John and Don, and also to Linda, watching on Facebook Live. A number of people checking in and letting us know that they are there, and we're always glad to have a good audience on Facebook Live. In fact, we have all the kinks apparently worked out from last week where we were audio-less, but good to be back and everything running normally. The Rubber Cement Man and Henry and DJ Bolt all watching today on Facebook Live, and we appreciate you being here as well. Want to get to our contest today. You've all heard the contest, the term Mr. Irrelevant. And basically that is the last player chosen in the last round of the NFL draft. Some have gone on to actually play in the NFL. But Mr. Irrelevant, we're doing a contest today for the Bucs Mr. Irrelevant. And what that means is, who will be the last player chosen by the Bucs in the draft today? I don't even know how many picks they have left, Jason. Maybe we can research that.
They picked 4 players thus far.
Right.
Yeah, so the Bucs have 4 picks already. They've had 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 third-round picks. They have 3 picks left. 125th overall in the 4th round, 220 in the 6th round, and their final pick, the Mr. Irrelevant, is going to be pick number 246 in the 7th round.
All right. So what we're asking for the contest today, we're not going to ask who they're going to pick, because that's like looking for a needle in a haystack. We're going to ask you, what position will Mr. Irrelevant play? Will it be an offensive lineman, a tackle, a guard, a center? Will it be a defensive tackle, an edge rusher? Will it be a linebacker, a cornerback, a wide receiver, a punter, a kicker, a quarterback even?
Mm-hmm.
What position will the Mr. Irrelevant for the Buccaneers play? The last pick, which is what again, Matt?
It's in the 7th round. It's pick 246 overall.
Okay. And that's assuming they don't make a trade. If they make a trade, that could change.
Mm-hmm.
But who will be the Buccaneers selection? What position will he play? With the 246th pick of the NFL draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select who? But again, not asking who the player will be, but what position will he play?
Mm-hmm.
Want to also mention that the Rays last night, boy, just a rough night. Cold in Chicago.
Well,
and losing to a team that had only won 3 games.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, when I looked at that series and I saw that the White Sox entered that game with a 3-22 record, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, this is a great opportunity for the Rays to get their first sweep of the season. Mm-hmm. And then to lose the game 1 of that series, very disappointing. Now, at the very least, they've got to come back and at least win the next 2 to win the series. But this was the kind of series you'd hope that they could win all 3 games going against a team that really has gone off to a terrible start like the White Sox.
By the way, we've already had people enter the contest on Facebook Live. A cornerback is what John thinks. The Rubber Cement Man is saying it'll be a linebacker. So those are 2 positions that have been chosen. But if you want to enter the contest, you can do it on Facebook Live by just putting in what you think they'll be picking. Cornerback and linebacker have already been chosen as far as the first 2 picks. Some other things we want to get to, and we will get to as we move along. But next Saturday, we are having our Mother's Day contest. It's the Saturday before Mother's Day. We're doing that so that we can get the prizes out to the winners in time for them to enjoy, which is going to be lunch or dinner for 2 at the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. So that's going out to 3 different moms next Saturday. Now, here's how to enter the contest. It's very simple. You dial next Saturday, 727-441-3000, and join us on the air, and we'll talk to you a little bit about Mother's Day and your kids, and maybe you're a young mom, maybe you're an older mom that has grown adult kids or whatever. We'll talk about that next Saturday, and you do have to call in. And then we will judge from the people that call in who gets the certificates to go to the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach, and you'll have them in time to go on Mother's Day if you like. So that's how our Mother's Day contest will go. We're going to take a break, and then we would like to hear from you. Join us on the phone line, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. I want to say hello to Scott, who is listening and watching this morning with the Original Mattress Factory. I had a chance to meet with him yesterday. Scott, who also is the green hat for the Buccaneers at the games. That's the guy that does the timeouts. It steps out onto the field and signals to the referee when there's a media timeout, and also when they can resume play. Had a meeting with him. So welcome, Scott. Glad to have you with us, watching us here today. We'll take a break. Do want to mention Rock Riley will join us at 9:45 this morning, and then Ben Smith will join us at 10:15. So stay right there. We've got an hour and 40 minutes to chat with you on a busy playoff Saturday. Both the Lightning and Magic in action today, the Buccaneers in the draft, and the Rays are playing tonight as well. So a busy sports day.
Yes, it is.
More of the home team coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com.
Folks, let me tell you about a gem of a restaurant in Carrollwood. It's Hank's Place, where you'll find some of the best barbecue, catfish, wings, sausage, gator, shrimp, and a whole lot more. Their meats are dry rubbed and slowly smoked. All of your favorite sides, too, from baked beans to collard greens to mac and cheese to onion rings. Are you hungry yet? Discover why Hank's Place at 8546 Northdale Maybury, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue, is a place that locals have known about for years. Hey, would a guy like me lie to you about food? Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
Whether it's a car accident, storm damage, or a fire, when the unthinkable happens, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. In this moment, it doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance you do. In this moment, what matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
Hundreds of sets of gently used golf clubs is what you'll find at T&D Golf Stores. Conveniently located at 4205 West Waters Avenue, half a mile west of Dale Mabry, T&D has the best repair facility with the largest selection of grips in stock. You'll find a wide variety of new and used golf balls, shoes, gloves, and accessories. Family owned and operated. Check them out on the web at tndgolfstores.com. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Seeking intellectual delight? Tune in every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN 1340 AM for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. Candace delves into property insurance, law, and other hot legal topics. Don't miss Legal Candy on WTAN 1340 AM. Unwrap the law one bite at a time. Now you can get that delicious Vienna all-beef hot dog in Pinellas County at Daddy Dogs on the southeast corner of McMullen Booth Road and State Route 580 in Safety Harbor. They feature 10 different types of hot dogs with over 25 different toppings. Hershey's ice cream, too. Now you don't have to drive to Tampa to get the best hot dog there is. Check out their menu at daddydogs.com. That's daddy, DAWGS.com. Family owned and operated. daddydogs.com.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
The best entertainment deal for $1 in Tampa Bay is back with the return of Clearwater Threshers Dollar Tuesdays to Baycare Ballpark. Enjoy the fun and excitement of minor league baseball with $1 burn tickets, hot dogs, sodas, and more. Every homestand this summer starts with a Dollar Tuesday featuring admission and select concession items for just $1. Visit ThreshersBaseball.com, then visit Baycare Ballpark in Clearwater for Dollar Tuesdays presented by Top Notch Pest Control.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. And it was kind of a rough week this week for broadcasters. Donald Sterling, the long-time radio voice.
John Stewart.
Sterling.
Donald Sterling. He was the one, the controversial owner of the Clippers who ended pretty badly there.
But John Sterling, oh boy, you got me all out of whack now, Jason. John Sterling, the longtime radio broadcaster of the New York Yankees, retired effective immediately. And also, Wally Harris, a longtime NHL referee, passed away this past week. And then a great broadcaster, Matt, in north of the border, left us as well.
Yes, he did. Bob Cole, the legendary announcer from CBC and Hockey Night in Canada, passed away at the age of 90.
I remember, actually, when I was a child, we lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and we were right across the lake from a television station in London. It was Channel 10 in London, Ontario. And on good nights, on Saturday nights, I could get Hockey Night in Canada on the TV. It would come right across the lake. Right. Had a lot of snow in it. This was back before cable, and you used an antenna to try and get as better a signal as you could. Yeah, the rabbit ears. And if I turned them just right, get it just to the right position, I could vaguely make out hockey players, and I got the audio. And I remember hearing Cole broadcasting back then, back when I was a kid. By the way, I want to mention we've got the entries in the contest. John has selected a cornerback, the Rubber Cement Man a linebacker, and Donald has selected a safety. That will be the Buccaneers pick with number 246 in the NFL draft. Let's go to the phone lines and get things cooking on the phones. We've got... let's see, Donald joining us next. Hello, Donald. You're on the home team.
Wow, that was quick. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How about that? We saw you there and didn't want to keep you waiting.
There you go. I'm just sitting at my kitchen table. Liz is working and just watching you guys on Facebook. No fishing today. The weather is really windy out there. That's beautiful out there. When I called you from the water, it was just such a nice day out there.
Absolutely, yes.
It was just a gorgeous evening, a nice breeze, and we're not going to get a whole lot more of that, so enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, summer's coming.
We move into May next week.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. And Sunday, May 12th, Mother's Day is also Liz's birthday, so it's
Very nice.
As we call it, High Holy Day.
Okay, all right. Well, if she's around next Saturday, make sure she calls in.
Well, she can't because she works on Saturday.
Okay. Well, no imitations. You can't call in and imitate her, Donald.
No, I'm not going to do that.
This is Liz. I don't know. You were saying, you mentioned on Facebook Live that you had 7 channels growing up. That was it, huh?
Yeah, that was it. Out on Eastern Long Island, we had 7 channels. And we had one TV, and of course I had older sisters who were 7 years older than me and 6 years older. So I had no say in what was watching, except Saturday morning, because my sisters would sleep in. So I was able to watch cartoons on Saturday morning and stuff. And then also after night, when they went to bed, I would stay up and watch wrestling.
There you go.
I love wrestling. I watch it every now and then.
Me too. When I was a kid, I loved wrestling as well.
Before cable jumped in and there's games on every night of the week now, it was really a special thing. Like I remember growing up watching the Cleveland Indians, and they were on Saturday afternoon. They would televise the Saturday afternoon game. And that was it for the week. Or you might get the NBC game of the week on Saturday afternoon. But now it's just almost
you have so many choices. I mean, you had ABC's Wide World of Sports. Of course, I mean, initially in the early days of TV, I mean, you had basically 3 channels. I think it was you have CBS, ABC, and NBC, the 3 main broadcasting companies, and that was pretty much it. Before they started expanding a little bit. So basically you got what you got, but obviously at the time, I think with TV that was a norm and that was considered special. When whatever was on, it was kind of a privilege to watch.
Yeah,
you know what I missed? They used to have the show called This Week in Baseball. I called it TWIB. This Week in Baseball. That was a great show.
Yeah,
that was so many years ago. I'm sure somebody remembers that. But
I always remember Bob McKay, or Jim McKay, rather, saying, spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sports. I actually have it memorized.
The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. And the agony of defeat, they showed the skier crashing down the slope in brutal fashion.
Yeah.
That's it. You got it.
Yeah. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports. Yeah. That was.
How did the Rays lose to a 22 losing team?
Good question.
I'm glad you brought that up, Donald, because Mario on Facebook Live said he can't believe the Rays are just 1-8 in 9 series opening games. And one of the bigger issues plaguing the Bolts was that they just had trouble getting the puck out of their zone, which led to either most of the Panthers' goals or penalties. That's very true.
As far as the Rays, look, 13-14, the record is not terrible. Right around 500, is okay. You stay there. I mean, at least if they can win the next 2, which hopefully they will, they would be one game above 500. The problem, though, is you just wonder how long they can hold up with these injuries. And apparently Yandy Diaz left the game last night with what could look bad as a broken finger,
broken pinky,
or something. He got hit by a pitch. So you add that to already the problems with the injuries to the pitching staff and others, and that's rough. I mean, and it's a competitive division. I mean, all the teams are pretty good, have gotten off to strong starts. Between the Orioles, the Yankees, Red Sox and Blue Jays, and of course the Rays trying to keep pace with them. It's not going to be easy if they keep getting guys injured.
It was like 40 degrees in Chicago last night. Picture this if you can, Jason. 40 degrees and getting hit on the pinky with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball that hit the pinky right against the bat.
Yeah,
the bat handle.
Not pleasant.
Oh, man.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
That was just crucial to hear that. And Yandy Diaz left the game. And if it's a broken finger, you don't know how long he'll be out.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Paul, I just saw your post about the radio in the bedroom by your ear. I used to have the same thing. I remember listening to games when, because I couldn't watch them on TV. I'd have a radio. I would listen to all the games. I enjoy, even now, I'll listen to the Rays games on radio because I don't have cable, so I don't have Bally, and it's unfortunate that we don't get to see, our local games. But I put them on the radio, and I do listen to them. And I really enjoy it because you can have it in your head, like you can picture what's going on. And we have some great announcers.
One of the things I used to do as a child back when I was in, I think it was junior high school, is I had a radio in my front shirt pocket with an earphone that ran up my sleeve, and I wore a sweater over that. And I would just sit in class.
Listen to the games.
And listen to the game, particularly the World Series when it was the afternoon games and that.
Just hope that the teacher doesn't ask you a question or call you a question.
That's what you had to be careful about.
Well, I listened when they had the blackout rule in the NFL, and in many of the Bucs games, if they didn't sell out 48 hours before, they wouldn't show them locally. And so I would, in some of the games I didn't go to, I would listen on the radio. And sometimes I'd have the other current NFL game on TV with it muted and be listening intently to the Bucs games. And and I remember being just as excited listening on the radio when there was a big play for the Bucs as I would be if I was just watching it or at the game itself. So
was that before Gene Deckerhoff, or was Gene doing
it?
No,
Gene Deckerhoff was there at the time when I first started listening. Yeah, he was there. It's kind of funny. I think just before him, Jesse Ventura. I mean, talking about wrestling, Jesse Ventura did Bucs radio for a little like a year or two. Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yes, he did.
Fan.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and we'll see what happens. Donald, thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Go bold.
Do you give them any chance today?
I do. I mean, they still play a game. I mean, they're still a good team. Hopefully that it's not going to be in their head. You got to think of it. Okay, this is game 1 of a 4-game series. That's what the mentality has to be.
Yeah.
This is game 1 of a 4-game series.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
That's for sure. And Sonia Bryson Kirksey is not a fat lady, although she will be singing tonight. Yeah. She's not a fat lady, so that doesn't count. No. Yeah. By the way, Mario is reporting that Apple TV is saying that the finger is not broken on Yandy Diaz and that it is day to day.
Okay.
So it's
that's
probably
good
very
news.
sore, but not broken.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mario, for that. We appreciate it. Donald, thank you. We appreciate you joining us. All right.
Absolutely. You guys take care. Have a safe week.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Let's continue on the phone lines and talk with Anthony next. Hello, Anthony. You're on the home team.
Hey, good Saturday to you guys.
Same to you as well.
You know, for a small gathering of Panther fans, they definitely left out of that arena speaking volumes in comparison to the large horde of Lightning fans that showed up. And, I mean, they made some noise. I'm talking about the Lightning fans, but there was a group of fans that went down to Sunrise several years ago, and they took it upon themselves to kind of showcase their eliteness and by stepping on the Panthers' home ice. And to me, as a hockey fan, that's a no-no, man. That's like trying to light a fire under a certain fan base of a certain team. And lo and behold, through the years, the Panthers have been coming into the playoffs, and they've been taking on the attitude of the Brewers and the Carolina Hurricanes. You can't discount those guys. They've learned a lot from those encounters with the Brewers and other northeastern teams, and they've showcased it on Thursday. The Lightning need to come out putting some bodies on other guys. They need to start checking. They need to start getting some aggressiveness. I heard Chief say it doesn't show some anger. Put some anger forth. I mean, we're playing finesse hockey.
Well,
I go back to the years prior to when Coach Cooper came in, and the team was playing finesse hockey, and then obviously they learned from the School of Hard Knocks to start putting some bodies on and aggressiveness on the ice. Go ahead, Jason.
Well, yeah, no, I was going to say at the beginning of Game 3, you could definitely tell the Florida came out with an intensity, and the Lightning were not into it. It showed Cooper on the bench. He was not happy with the way they started that game. I know they rebounded in the beginning of the second period and took the lead, but I think the Panthers kind of when it came out and set the tone. And there's also the other thing we talk about, shooting the puck and trying not to get all these perfect passes. Someone made the comment trying to play tic-tac-toe, getting the perfect pass here and there. You got to shoot the puck. You shoot the puck, you get a deflection, a rebound. Someone else's stick redirects the puck. That's how you get the goals. You're just not going to be able to get it through a good team like the Panthers and get the perfect setup, the perfect pass to get a clean goal. It's not going to happen.
And if you'll pardon me, I would like to get up on my soapbox for a moment here. I am sick and tired of the challenges in the NHL of offside that happened a minute and a half before the goal was actually scored.
Yeah.
And that so much play had happened in between.
Right.
It's not as though someone was offside and scored immediately.
Yes.
I think you should not be able to challenge unless it had a direct impact on the goal.
Well, and I don't understand why they even implemented that rule. What the thinking was there.
Well, if a play is offsides, then it should have been blown dead. At the time
I understand that, but they didn't used to be able. You didn't used to be able to challenge that. What made them think that by challenging it, that would make the game better? That's my question.
Yeah, it doesn't make the game better, to answer your question, but the thinking was that they had to have it right, and if there was an offsides play, you have to go back to where the offsides occurred, reset the clock, and resume the game.
But again, when it doesn't really impact the goal,
right?
That's where it doesn't make sense to me at all.
That's my point. That if it doesn't have a direct impact on the goal being scored, for example, the guy that was offsides gets a pass and shoots it and it goes in, that should be disallowed.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happened a minute and a half and the entry into the zone was offside,
yeah, so what?
Yeah, I can't see that.
Allow me to vent on three fronts. First, two concerning the officiating. And Toronto, how long does it take to come to a decision? You guys have high-tech visuals, and it takes you over 10 minutes to make a decision, and it always comes out against us. And that's one of my beefs. Second, we have 4 striped guys on the ice, and you're telling me they can't focus on a penalty that the Panthers put on our guys, that's bogus, man. And third, and this is my main beef, I'm going back to 2009. Bill Esposito, and I believe it was the final game of the regular season against, I believe, the Senators. He went on the air and said, "Where are all our fans?" I remember back then I would see some Lightning fans sitting in the midst of Bruins fans and Red Wing fans. Where all of a sudden did this fan club come out of? I know they're being called out and named all left and right by certain personalities, but where were they back then? All of a sudden they show up and they're beating the drums, and it's like there's this exclusive fan club. Back then, we had fans sitting around different areas of the arena having to support the team alone. Mm-hmm. So, don't give me this elitist fan club or whatever. It's just, the fans of respect. I'm going back, way back, when in 90, I'm going back to 96, when teams from the opposite teams, fans were coming into our arena and overtaking it. I would see guys wearing their Lightning jerseys surrounded by opponents' fans, and they stood up. Those are the guys I give respect to. And again, if you
I think he might have wiped out his battery there.
First show me your Lightning history before you start saying these other fans' teams suck. So, I'm gonna Lightning guys go out and put a blister on the Panthers, man. That's all I want.
Let's hope so.
All right. Do you want to enter the contest, Anthony, as to what position the Bucks will select last?
I'm going to go tackle. We need tackle. Definitely need tackle.
All right. We got you down. Thank you, Anthony. And by the way, thank you for your donation to reach out.
Hey, it's a pleasure, bro. You're the ladies and you are encouragement by having that ministry. So, it's my pleasure, man. Thank God you guys are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And also want to thank another gentleman who donated this past week. We certainly appreciate that as well. Fred was the other gentleman who donated. So thank you, Fred. We need to hit a break, and then Rock Riley will join us on the other side of the break. Stay right where you're at. Join us on the phone line, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. Mario says the magic number of goals allowed from Vasi is 2. If he doesn't allow more than 2 goals, the Lightning stand a chance at winning the game today.
Good point.
That's where he's at. More of the home team coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and of course on Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
There's no place like this place anywhere near this place, so this must be the place. That's what they've been saying about the Palm Pavilion since 1926. The Palm Pavilion on the north end of the sparkling beach is a Clearwater beach landmark. Situated directly on the beach overlooking the Gulf of Mexico, the Palm Pavilion is the place to order cool tropical drinks and watch spectacular sunsets. Tempt your taste buds with perfect pasta, sizzling steaks, chicken or seafood wraps, shrimp and crab chowder. Come for a day or stay for the night. A casual atmosphere featuring live entertainment on the deck. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill and Bar on sparkling Clearwater Beach. Visit them on the web at palmpavilion.com, or better yet, visit in person, 10 Bay Esplanade on the north end of Clearwater Beach. The Palm Pavilion Inn and Beachside Grill.
We're talking with Pastor Chris Bonham, the senior executive pastor at Grace Family Church. And it's been around for a while, Pastor Chris. What do you attribute the longevity to?
We've been around for 27 years, and our senior pastor, Craig Altman, always has had the value of being real, being genuine. And I think that's really been the key to our longevity. The message hasn't changed. We're always going to be Bible-based, Bible-centered, but our genuineness allows us, as we've grown, to show we're not perfect. We're not always going to do everything right. And that allows us to be real. And I think when people see that, that's very inviting to them to realize they don't have to just be perfect as well. They can come just like they are, and God can meet them right where they're at.
You'll find services on both Saturday and Sunday at Grace Family Church. So check it out.
Grace Family Church, now with 8 locations. The newest at State Route 54 and Suncoast Parkway.
This is Paul Porter. For the past 12 years, we've not endorsed an air conditioning company on the home team. Until now, I'm happy to tell you about the family-owned and operated air conditioning company, Action Air Conditioning. David Russell and his family run their business with three principles in mind: honesty, integrity, and reliability. They've been in business since 1988. They service the entire home team listing area. From service to AC checkups to a whole new system, Action Air Conditioning is the AC company for you. Why do I speak so highly of Action Air Conditioning? I've used them many times at multiple properties, and I've been completely satisfied every time. Visit them on the web at actionairconditioning.com. That's actionairconditioning.com. Or you can call them at 813-935-6644. If you're in need of an air conditioning company, take it from me. Action Air is your company. 813-935-6644. 813-935-6644. actionairconditioning.com. This is Paul Porter. 10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. I'm asking you, my loyal listeners, to consider a donation to help our ministry. If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677. That's Reach Out, Speak Out, Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677. 501c3 number 471630804. No gift is too large or small, and all gifts are tax deductible. Thank you in advance for your help, and I hope you'll join us making a difference in our community. If you're anywhere in the Safety Harbor Clearwater area, you have to try Daddy Dogs. They feature the Vienna all-beef hot dogs with the casings that snap when you bite them, as well as Italian beef. Hershey's ice cream, too. Check out their menu at daddydogs.com. That's daddy, DAWGS.com. Family owned and operated on the southeast corner of McMullen Booth and State Route 580 in Safety Harbor. Vienna all-beef hot dogs, now in Pinellas at Daddy Dogs in Safety Harbor. Try it. You'll thank me later.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And welcome back to the home team. By the way, Jason, I want to see if you know this one. You know a lot about sports, but I want to see if you know the answer to this, okay? Do you know the difference between a hippo and a zippo?
Oh, here we go. No, you like me.
Well, the hippo is very, very heavy, but the zippo is a little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
So
I figure they're coming. Like I say, I added to the monster with that book.
I love that one. And, you know, now that Mario has reported that Yandy Diaz doesn't have a broken finger, I can actually say this one, too. The guy was saying that he broke his finger, but on the other hand, he's okay. There you go.
No comment.
Let's go to the phone lines. Rock Riley's going to rescue us from all of this. Hello, Rock. Welcome to the home team.
Good morning. You know what? You're trying to lift everybody up with the Rays losing and the Lightning on the verge of elimination. I like it. Way to go, guys. Good morning.
Well, we're trying to do our best here, and it's going to be a fun afternoon and early evening at the Lightning game tonight. So hopefully they'll be able to keep their season going. What do you think, Rock? Do they have much of a shot tonight?
Yeah, it's very hard. You know what I was thinking, Paul and Jason? I was thinking, could they actually be able to win 2 games in a row to get another game back at Amalie Arena? And I don't even know if they can do that. So, you know, you got to be realistic. It's been an incredible run. It isn't like the Panthers are a juggernaut. I didn't think going in that the Tampa Bay Lightning matched up good against the Florida Panthers, you know, and this might be the Panthers' time. Cooper said the other night, it isn't like they're getting blown out, but it's like they're just not able to take advantage of opportunities. They can't get the puck out. It's the little things, and that's where we're at.
Yeah, and I think for one, I think that shows that the Panthers right now are the better team. But I also think that Florida, they're going to try to close the Lightning out because they realize they leave that door open. The Lightning, they've been there, they've done it, they've won championships. And you're right, Rock. I think the key is if the Lightning do manage to win tonight, if they could win take a game over in Sunrise, now they've got the momentum, and it brings the series back to Tampa for another game.
And they'd be in the Panthers' heads, too.
Right, exactly. Well, that's when you start, if you're the team that had the lead, you start to get a little nervous and say, okay, it's slipping away. We didn't want this to happen. So that's where I think the Panthers are going to try to close them out. But Lightning, you gotta find it. They got to stay alive here. You never know.
Yeah, you never know. No, you know what? You never know. It's a great experience being there. The fans did their job. You know, Paul, you were missed. You were doing the Magic game, I'm assuming.
Right.
And you were missed. But I will tell you this: being the fans were great, and the atmosphere pregame, and with Titus O'Neil's thing on the jumbotron, and then in the second period, look, there's an example. The Lightning were flying around. They had the momentum. They looked unstoppable. And then, boom, the Islanders scored another one, and then it's deflated, and then there you go. So I'm more realistic. I think it's been a great, great run, but I'll try to be as optimistic as you guys.
Yep, there you go. And I've said this before, the salary cap has taken its hit every year. That's what it's designed to do. And it's designed to create parity and make the better teams worse and the worst teams better. And it's worked out that way. And when you lose a Colton and a Killorn and a Palat and the list, and
it could be Stamkos after the season is done. So
it's hard to keep the team together because guys are looking for more money, and there just isn't more money if you're going to keep everybody. So you have to let people go, and when you let people go, it takes a toll on the team. And we've seen this happen in any sport that has a salary cap. That's why baseball is the one sport without one, and you have the same powerful teams every year.
That's it. You hit it on the head. And when you think about it, guys, it really is amazing on how long the Lightning and the retooling that they did to win the back-to-back and then even go to the Stanley Cup again and then get in the playoffs. It really has been incredible.
Yeah. One thing that I keep hearing, and maybe you can set me straight on this, Rock, but I think I got it right. They've been saying that John Cooper has never been behind 3-0 in a series. And I distinctly remember losing to Columbus.
Yeah.
And they lost in 4 games.
Yeah, they were swept.
So I don't know why that keeps being reported that way, but it's not accurate.
No,
this is not the first time he's been down 3-0. So
and they got, I think I remember they also got swept in 2014 by Montreal. And that was the first time the Lightning made the postseason with him as their head coach. And they lost. They were swept in that one.
Want to talk some Bucks draft with you, Rock, and I like the pick of going with a center. That seems to be a position they've had hard time keeping healthy.
Yeah, when we were there late on that first night, and GM Jason Light came out, and he told us it was about 12:30 in the morning, and he said he and Todd Bowles had agreed last season during the season. And it wasn't like the last couple of games. It was a little bit after the midway point where they said, we got to upgrade at center. They knew then. Look, Hainsey did all he could do with the size and the skill that he has, but a lot of times those defenders are coming right up the middle. He couldn't, so they had to upgrade. And this kid really is, what blew me away, we get him on Zoom after he gets picked. And then, of course, then they fly him back. And yesterday he was there in person. But very calm, very confident, very mature. It wasn't like this was too big for him. He's highly intelligent. He went to Duke. He's big on even like his nutrition. Everything is about football. He can't wait to get here. So I think, you know what? Sometimes the trenches aren't a big excitement for your first pick at a center. but I think it's exactly what the Buccaneers needed.
I agree. I think it's well, and you contrast that with the shock of the draft, what the Atlanta Falcons did, where it makes headlines, but wasn't necessarily the right move for them. You know, when they took Michael Penix, when they already had Kirk Cousins, you know, the Bucs have gotten a player and other players hopefully that can step in right away and make an impact. There were 5 of their rookies last year that stepped in immediately and make an impact, and that makes a difference in whether your team succeeds or does not.
In fact, Mario was saying a lot of people are shaking their heads on the Falcons picking and the Bills' decision to trade down multiple times that allowed Carolina and Kansas City to draft receivers.
Yeah, you know, we asked Jason Light, like, well, what was your thought? Because you said that you need a lot in a lot of different areas. Just like you said, Paul, that salary cap, it got to them the year before.
Right.
They had like $75 million in dead money. They couldn't do much. So you're exactly right. And they muddled through that. They made the playoffs, and they got a win. Now they're building it back again. You re-sign your Evans and Godwin and Baker Mayfield and Antoine Winfield Jr. Now you got to get these young guys to contribute. And he was saying they had 5 players that they wanted to go with in that first pick at 26. If any 5 of those weren't there, then they were going to accept offers. They were going to trade down. They were going to build. And this was one of the guys that was there. And it's funny, too, because I had asked him leading up to that, you go for best player available, or do you also got to go for need? And he's like, you always go for best player available. And now after day 1 and after day 2, it's like they went for what they really needed.
But it could have been the best player available at the need, which is great because you fill both spots.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah. Very good. Rock, one more thing before we let you go. We just got a couple of minutes left, but the Rays disappointing last night, dropping that game to Chicago. And this Rays team just seems the injuries has certainly been a factor, but they just don't seem like they're the Rays team of old.
No, you know what? And again, I'm trying to be this way, guys. Baseball is so long.
Yeah.
We haven't even hit May yet. So a lot can happen between now and towards, in September. But the problem is the AL East right now is looking to be the best division in all of baseball. I don't see any of those. I don't see the Orioles, even the Jays, the Rays, who's going to drop? So that's the thing. They can't afford to get too far behind here.
Right.
And Elfin, that was the only thing. Like, Elfin is supposed to be your number one guy. Is he really a number one guy? I'm not so sure about that. Look at Randy Arozarena. Like, he bulked up and he got a little bit bigger. And I'm like, I don't know. And he finally hit a thing the other night.
Mm-hmm.
Then Yandy was their guy they're counting on. So I'm going to be – you guys were positive with the Lightning. So I'll be positive with the Rays. It's still early. Cash is tremendous. It's still early, guys.
All right. Well, Rock, thank you so much for taking time out. I know it's a busy day for you as well, keeping an eye on the draft and then the Lightning game going on as well. So we appreciate you taking time out to be with us this morning.
You got it, guys. Always enjoy it.
All right. Thanks again.
Rock.
Rock Riley, who he's a busy guy. He's covering the Lightning and the Bucks and the Rays, and he goes from one to the other. I think he was at the Lightning game and then went over to the Buccaneers draft after the Lightning game the other night. We will be back with hour number 2. Stay right with us. Join us on the phone lines, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. More of the home team coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City.
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Stacey Lynn. Dozens of tornadoes touched down in the middle of the country yesterday. This man lives in Omaha, Nebraska.
We watched it touch down about 200 yards over there, and then we went to shelter. We could hear it going through. When we came back up, our fence was gone. We looked over to the northwest, and the whole neighborhood's gone.
More tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds are in the forecast for today. Meteorologist Mark Chenard is with the National Weather Service.
Today looks to be the biggest severe weather day, but there will be a threat Sunday as well, shifting east into the eastern plains, into the Mississippi Valley.
At colleges around the country, students have been holding protests demanding their schools cut ties with companies that do business with Israel. CBS's Michael George reports.
Pro-Palestinian demonstrators at UCLA say they're staying put.
We are here to make sure that the UC is not actively funding the violence that's happening abroad.
The University of Southern California announced it's canceling its main graduation ceremony, citing safety concerns.
And the war in the Middle East isn't letting up. CBS's Deborah Patta is in Jerusalem, where she talked with the parents of a hostage shown in a video Hamas released this week.
I spoke to the mother of Hirsch Goldberg-Pollen, and she said a very powerful thing, that there are hundreds of thousands of innocent people suffering in Gaza. And one of them, she said, I know very well. His name is Hirsch. And this is enough. It's time for this to end for everyone.
The Biden administration is rushing a $6 billion long-term military aid package to Ukraine, the largest to date. Ukraine's ambassador to the U.S., Oksana Markarova, says the aid is greatly needed.
We have to stay the course. There was delay in some decision-making here, but there was no delay on the battlefield. We have 500,000 Russians on our soil.
Meanwhile, Russia launched another barrage of missiles against Ukraine overnight that targeted energy facilities and a hospital. Now to the criminal hush money trial of former President Trump. Ex-tabloid publisher David Pecker was on the stand again yesterday, talking about the alleged deal to keep stories that could have hurt Trump's campaign out of the news. One of those involved former Playboy model Karen McDougal.
The defense argued that McDougal's $150,000 deal with AMI, which previously owned the National Enquirer, was legitimate. She was paid and featured broadly throughout the publications. But under questioning from prosecutors, Pecker said that was meant to disguise the actual purpose, which was to acquire her lifetime rights to her story, so it's not published.
That's CBS's Robert Costa covering the trial. Jurors have a 3-day weekend, and the trial will resume again on Tuesday. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
This is Downtown Dade. How would you like to be able to promote yourself, your business, or someone else's business for less than the cost of one 60-second commercial on many Tampa Bay radio stations? Here's the deal. You can have your own 1-hour radio program on the TAN Talk Network for less than the cost of one 60-second announcement on many Tampa Bay stations. Your program will be on 2 Tampa Bay radio stations and will cover 4 million people in Florida, plus worldwide on the internet in both audio and video. And you'll have a web link for your business on the TAN Talk 1340 website. We provide the producer, the state-of-the-art equipment, free production of commercials, and much more. Check it out today. Call Lola O'Brien, the Irish Hawaiian, at 727-510-7622. That's 510-7622. Call Lola O'Brien now, 727-510-7622. Call now and your 1-hour radio program can start tomorrow. Call 510-7622 for Lola O'Brien, the Irish Hawaiian, at the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Every Thursday morning at 10 o'clock, join Ed Golly for the Voice of Reason as he counters the spin, distortions, audio illusions, and alternative facts of the conservatives who overwhelm the AM radio band. He'll give you plain, straight, factual discussion of the events of the day from a progressive point of view. Thursday, 10 a.m., here on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hey Tampa Bay, Tammy here with the BCC Coupon Book. Tune in during drive time 5 to 6 p.m. on the TAN Talk Radio Network to hear the BCC Coupon Book radio show. We feature local small business owners with great deals for many services and restaurants in our listening area. And anyone interested in branding your business and getting your name out there, give us a call at the BCC Coupon Book, 727-804-6082. Have a great day, Tampa Bay.
That's the BCC Coupon Book, Wednesdays 5 to 6 on the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drinking flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come. It's on the only 1340 WTAN TAN Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
This is Paul Porter, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with some exciting news. My radio program can now be heard on the TAN Talk Radio Network every Saturday morning from 9 to 11. We take your phone calls, give you the latest news on all of our home teams, and have contest and prize giveaways. Join Jason Alessi and me every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. for the home team on FM 106.1 and AM 1340. Also on Facebook Live, the home team with Paul Porter.
Tampa Bay's TAN Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't. It's time for the home team. The home team is brought to you in part by Grace Family Church. Just try it. By Tampa Bay area Chick-fil-A restaurants. By Vermost Insurance. By Mahoney's Auto Repair. By the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. By Irish 31, the place to catch your favorite team in action. By Iceman Development, LLC. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you, Bill Carl, and welcome to hour number 2 of the home team. Glad to have you with us on this playoff Saturday with the Magic playing at 1 o'clock and the Lightning playing at 5 o'clock today. A busy day for sports fans of both teams, and it's fun to be a part of that. We were just watching the highlights that they've been showing.
Russell Westbrook.
Yeah. The guy that I called Michael Westbrook, and he got all bent out of shape. And then I said, I'm sorry, he was the Hall of Famer. I got it mixed up.
Getting into antics, like complaining, fouling hard, shoving guys. I guess he got thrown out of the game last night with the Clippers losing to Dallas.
Good riddance to him. Yeah. Anyway, we want to check in with Alessi Bakery. What do you have going on this week? I know that it's always some specials there. And tell us about it.
Well, some of our weekly specials, we have our peanut butter cookies, buy one, get one free. We have an item called the caramel massue. It's kind of similar to the tiramisu cake, but with caramel flavor instead of the coffee. And slices, those are buy one, get one free. Also, our New York crumb cakes are buy one, get one free. A coffee cake with kind of like a sugary streusel crust on top. Comes in a square tin. Great price for like $4.95. You get 2 of them for that price. So we've got that going on. We've always got a wide variety of cakes, cupcakes. We have guava turnovers, apple turnovers, fudge brownies. We have our eclairs, cannolis, slices of carrot cake.
Not eclairs.
Eclairs.
Not eclairs.
Eclair.
No. Duclair.
Oh, the Duclair. The Duclair. Eclair. Yes. Yeah. For Anthony Duclair, yeah. So we've got those there. We've got Great Deli offering Cuban sandwiches, Philly cheesesteaks, Italian subs, hot entrees like chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, picadillo, and our famous scacciata pizza, the cold meat pizza. So got a little bit of everything at Alessi Bakery.
Now that we've got everybody hungry, give us the location.
We're at 2909 West Cypress Street, in between MacDill and Armenia. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Very good. And just want to mention one thing before we get to Kirk, who's patiently waiting on the phone lines. want to do a tip of the cap to a company called Creative Ideas. They have been managing our Facebook page ever since we've started Facebook, and the results have been better and better and better, and more people are watching on Facebook Live each and every week. And just a tip of the cap, if you are looking for a good public relations, social media company that can really do it all for you to help your business. You're busy running your business, so you don't have time to do all the social media and all the different marketing things. Check out creativeideasagency.com. Creativeideasagency.com. I can tell you they've done a terrific job for me, and they can do the same for your business as well. Whether you're local, whether it's an international company, whether it's a small business or a larger business, they have helped all types of businesses, and they can help you as well. Just go to their website, creativeideasagency.com, and you will find out all that you need to know about Creative Ideas and how they can help for you. Their name says it all, Creative Ideas. They have very creative ideas, and they can help you just like they've helped me. Let's go back to the phone lines. Kirk is with us next. Hello, Kirk. You're on the home team.
How are you doing both games today, Paul, or are you?
No, I am not. I considered it, but if the Lightning were playing at 7 instead of 5, I would have given it a stab.
You said they were thinking about bringing out the chopper to
the Magic.
to
We're talking about a helicopter to get
yeah.
me from one to the other. But
I was wondering if you wanted to borrow mine just to get over there.
Oh, I wish I'd have known, but yeah, no, it was just too difficult to do. When the schedule for the Magic actually came out first, and then when the Lightning schedule came out last Thursday, I think it was, and I saw the first 2 home games were the same days, my worst nightmares were realized. But what I'm doing, I did the Magic game Thursday night and doing the Lightning game tonight, missing one game from each organization.
And the Magic won, and they won big that game. Let's hope the same thing happens with the Lightning tonight.
Right,
there.
Right, absolutely.
He needs to do something. I just wanted to say, the playoffs for the youth, or the high school lacrosse, softball, and all that are underway. And tonight there's 2 games locally for boys lacrosse, one at Plant at 7 and one out at Newsom at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Good. We'll go Plant. That's my alma mater.
Absolutely.
They have a very good team. I think they've lost twice this year. So
good.
And Newsom's got a good, strong team, and they're playing Manatee. So it's some good local stuff tonight.
Outstanding. We appreciate you keeping us up to date on that, Kirk. What do you see as far as the Lightning? Do you give them a shot tonight?
Yeah, I think they get one tonight, and then they go back down to Florida and take it off the chin.
Okay.
It's very competitive, though, is it not? I mean,
yeah.
These teams are playing hard. It's great play. I mean, you can't take your eyes off of it because something could occur. I mean, it's really, really good.
Well, the Lightning. I was going to say when they played them a couple of years in the playoffs, and the Lightning, I think, got the sweep. But all 4 games were incredibly competitive. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, sometimes the overall result is a little misleading. Each game could have potentially gone either way.
And, that even makes it a little bit more frustrating. I mean, if you're getting blown out game after game after game, you just say, well, tip your hat to them. They're the better team. Right. But virtually every game could have went either way. The Lightning could be up 3-0.
Think about that crazy save Bobrovsky made in Game 2, where he just turned around and on instinct throws his glove up there and hits the puck when the net was wide open. I mean, something like that. That could change the series. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I don't understand, and you're the NBA guy, how can they go and get spanked, Miami for one up in Boston the first game, and not even really be in it, and then come back and be a 14-point underdog and win by 10? And how can the Magic go in twice into Cleveland, get beat, and then come home and just destroy them? Mm-hmm. The NBA really has me confused.
Adjustments.
That's what I was just talking about with Jason, that the coach of the Miami Heat, he has been one of the best coaches in the league at making adjustments after a first game. And he obviously did that. They did some things that threw things off. And he's the longest tenured coach after Greg Popovich in the NBA. And there's a reason for that.
So the one question I have is, the level of, you get your top tier players. And then after, it's got to be pretty equal. And they perform on that one night as a team. I mean, it just really is confusing to me. I mean, it's like some huge gaps when you see 30 and 40-point changes in a game. That's the thing that I just
I mean, a lot of people say, how can the Magic go to Cleveland and lose 2 games by double figures and then come home and win by almost 40 points at home?
And you also think the shooting can play a factor too. Some players, they're great players, great shooters, but some nights they have off nights. They have good looks at the basket. It's just not going down. Other nights, they can't miss. No matter what they do, they just put up they shoot it up there, and it's going in, swish after swish. And I think that plays a factor too. Sometimes the shooting is on, sometimes it's off, and that can make a big difference as well.
Yeah, I'll just, I guess, continue to be perplexed as I watch these games.
Yeah.
It's just like.
Well, I look at it this way, and Jason, I know you watch a lot of movies, okay? Isn't it a lot more fun when a movie ends differently than how everybody thinks it's going to end,
Sure.
and there's a twist to it, and it ends up, wow, I wasn't expecting that to happen. Maybe that's better in sports. If you say, well, they won by 30 this night, they won by 30 the next night, they're going to win by 30 again, and then boom, it's totally different.
Well, yeah, the unpredictability is what part of the intrigue and what makes it interesting. And I think what makes it exciting, if all sports, if the team that was supposed to win won all the time, and if the things went according to plan, it's kind of boring and dull. Not much interest there.
Yeah.
Understand that.
All right.
Have a great game tonight, Paul, and hopefully you'll be doing some stuff for many weeks later.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope. And do you want to get in our contest, Kirk? We're looking for the position that the Bucks Mr. Irrelevant plays. Their last pick, the number 246 pick in the NFL draft. What position will it be?
Oh, it's going to be a linebacker.
Okay, that was already chosen by the Rubber Cement Man. What's been chosen is cornerback, linebacker, safety, and tackle.
Give me a running back.
Running back. That could be. Yeah. I could see that
Find
happen.
some trash out there.
Yeah.
Division 3 type guy. Bring him in.
There you go. There you go.
All right. We'll keep an eye on that one. Thanks.
Thank you, Kirk. Always appreciate your call.
Speaking of the running back, one of the analysis talked about the Tennessee running back. I think his name's Jalen Wright, still available. He thought that would be a good pick for the Bucks with their next pick, to pair him with Rachaad White. So just throwing that out there. They might pick a running back soon.
Mario has had some very insightful comments this morning, and I want to read this one that he said because I think there's some merit to it. Towards the end of the NHL season, it seemed like the Panthers and the Bruins were jockeying back and forth to not play the Lightning and play Toronto instead. Boston had a 1-point lead heading into the final couple of games, and Boston on the final night of the season was shut out by Ottawa at home. Now, that seems to be a little bit suspicious, but by losing that game, they avoided the Lightning and played the Maple Leafs, and the Panthers ended up playing the Lightning.
So, although Toronto beat the Lightning last year in the playoffs.
They did.
But
I think from Boston's point of view, they match up better with Toronto than they do with the Lightning.
Yeah, you never know about that. The way I look at it, at the end of the day, all the teams that you're going to be in the playoffs are tough. All the teams are good. You have to come and play. You have to execute. You have to be on your game, and it's going to be whoever makes more plays. And that's and the NHL playoffs are more competitive than some of the other sports. I think when it comes to the playoffs, most of the times, not all, but most of the times, you typically see very close, kind of lower scoring games. And the series, again, even if a series is a sweep, there's a good chance all 4 games will be competitive and could have gone either way. And you don't always see that in the other sports where you'll get, like Kirk was just saying, blowout one night for one team, blowout the next night for the other team. But in hockey, most of the games are very close.
Yeah. Well, you don't have as many goals scored as you do points in the NBA
Right.
and NFL. We'll take a break and then more of the home team coming up. Ben Smith going to join us on the other side, our friend out at T&D Golf, and your phone call. Stay with us. More of the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1 and 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hi, Paul Porter here, asking for your help. Bobby Maggie at Maggie Tax and Maggie Gives Back Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit organization, supports and devotes its resources to assisting people in need. The Maggie Gives Back Foundation strives to help families who have fallen on hard times and are at risk of losing their homes with 1 year of mortgage or lease payments. Help us nominate a deserving family, and we need your help. If you share our belief in giving a hand up, not a handout, then we urge you to donate or nominate today to MaggieGivesBack.com. To nominate a deserving family, visit www.MaggieGivesBack.com or call us for program details. Once again, that's www.MaggieGivesBack.com or call 813-850-0131 for details.
Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. A place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's. 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. This is Paul Porter to tell you about the place to save big dollars on nearly new hockey, golf, baseball, and football equipment, and more. Check out Second Time Sports, Main Street, next to Walmart, just west of Belcher. Gently used sports equipment at significant savings is what you'll find at Second Time Sports. Call 727-784-0007 or check them out at secondtimesports.com. Don't pay full price for sports equipment without first checking out Second Time Sports. 2104 Main Street, just west of Belcher, next to Walmart.
My new windows from FAS Windows and Doors are in. I couldn't be happier with the job they did, from measuring perfectly to prompt and exact installation. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer, with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. As you know, I never endorse a product or service unless I've used them or thoroughly researched them. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. Call 866-737-7173. You'll be glad you did. I sure am. The Clearwater Threshers invite minor league baseball fans 55 and up to join our Silver Shark Senior Club, presented by Baycare. Members receive a free ticket, parking, and more to 10 Silver Sharks Wednesday home games at Baycare Ballpark this summer. Don't miss the exclusive Threshers visor and clear stadium bag, plus team store and tiki bar discounts. 10 Wednesday Clearwater Thresher games, free swag and discounts, all for only $30 with our Silver Shark Senior Club membership. Visit our website at threshersbaseball.com for more information and sign up today. 10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677. 5013C number 471630804.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. Glad to have you with us as we talk about a busy playoff Saturday coming up. And let's go back to the phone lines. We've got John Bycheck joining us. Hello, John.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Good to have you with us.
Yeah, let's hope it's this really, really busy playoff season for the Lightning.
Yeah, they got to, and we talked about this before the show. You just got to play it one game at a time. The object today is to win today and live to play another day.
Amen. Amen. I'm a little disappointed in the Rays last night as well, going into Chicago, the worst team in the league, and not being able to pull it off with their top starter on the mound. I think we're in trouble this year with our pitching staff.
Well, that's the thing, John. I think the injuries are the problem. You wonder how long they can keep it together. Obviously, I mean, they're still, their record is not terrible, but I don't know. You feel that they what they've shown thus far a little too inconsistent. And of course, if they lose this series, if they don't come back and win the next two to at least pull the series out against the White Sox, who are such a bad team, then there's a problem.
John, you just get the feeling that the Rays is just not the same. That's how I feel. You watch a lot of Rays games. How do you feel about that?
I feel 100% correct with that. Jonathan Ronda, Brandon Lau, these guys don't strike fear in the hearts and minds of other pitchers, and I think we're running out of steam with this patchwork play and getting guys in every other year, and they stay for a couple years. You've got two of your big guys that are down this year. The bullpen's not what it is. It's effective, and I understand injuries. All the teams have injuries, and three of our best starters are out. But you still got to hit the ball and put it in play and really make the things happen, and we're just not doing that consistently.
Yeah, I think so. And eventually, you can do patchwork and try and keep it going. But eventually those patches just give way.
The team has been to the playoffs the last 5 years, too. It's been a good run. They did make it to the World Series as well. So if this is a little down year, it's not that I think that they'll stay down. I think the Rays do a good job at finding the right players. They're starting the year and are going to play majority of the year with their top three pitchers not in the lineup. And that does make a difference.
Mario mentioning that the White Sox weren't going to play as bad like their record forever, and their share of games, unfortunately, last night was one of those games.
Yeah.
They're professional ball players. They hit the ball, they pitch the ball. Their time will come. The Rays have had slumps similar to that, and we've also had winning streaks, but virtually the opposite. It's just, we've just got to be more consistent, and our pitching, the bullpen just has not done it this year. We've got injuries there as well, but I'm not feeling really good about it. And do you want to compete every year, or do you want to win every now and then? And we just have not been able to win the whole thing every now and then, which would be nice. Mm-hmm. They're competing every year, but that'll only take you so far.
Yeah, yeah. You heading to the Lightning game this afternoon, John?
50-50. Haven't decided yet. Probably we'll end up going. We've got some tickets available, but there's a bunch of people who've got some ask out, so we'll probably make it this afternoon.
What do you think about some of the Bucks draft picks thus far?
I think they got what they needed. The second and third round draft picks could be steals like Jason Light usually does, but I think they really wanted this kid from Duke to fill in and probably move him to center. So I think they did a good job. Jason's got a good team over there, and he still owes us a phone call, too, so I'll try to get that happening. But I'm pretty pleased with it. Their interior line, both offense and defense, they answered.
Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, John, always good to hear from you. Thanks so much for dialing in today.
Take care, guys.
Have a good one.
Right.
Take care. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Some good picks as far as the Bucks were concerned, and I think they're I'm glad that they're not depending on a rookie to be the man in a particular position.
Right.
If the closest they came to that, I think, was probably the center that they drafted. That
yes,
they hope
did.
that he can start.
But, again, you look at all the contributions from the rookie players last year between Kalijah Cansey, their first pick last year, Yaya Diaby, another great defensive player along the line, the offensive lineman, Cody Mauch, I think started every game. Christian Izzian, the cornerback out of Rutgers, and Trey Palmer, the receiver. To have that kind of player contributions from that many rookies made a huge difference, and that's what you want with your rookies. Not all of them are. Some it's going to be a growing. They're going to go through growing pains. It's going to take a little bit longer for some to adjust, but if you get some of those rookies to come in and make an impact day one, and plus you look at some of the other players who are still young but going into their second and third years, you're hoping are going to be gradually improving. So the combination of getting impacts from the rookies in their first year to other younger players developing, that's where the excitement, I think, with this team is, because I think we have drafted well, and we've gotten players who are really coming into their own.
Baseball Al will join us on the other side of the break, so stay right where you're at, and we do have room for you on the phone lines if you want to join us. 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. Don't forget, the Sports Talk continues at 11 o'clock as Mike will be by with his sports connection, Tampa Bay Sports Connection. So we invite you to stay tuned to the TAN Talk Radio Network this morning at 11 o'clock. More of the home team is coming up on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com.
We're talking with Pastor Chris Bonham, the senior executive pastor at Grace Family Church. And it's been around for a while, Pastor Chris. What do you attribute the longevity to?
We've been around for 27 years, and our senior pastor, Craig Altman, always has had the value of being real, being genuine. And I think that's really been the key to our longevity. The message hasn't changed. We're always going to be Bible-based, Bible-centered, but our genuineness allows us, as we've grown, to show we're not perfect. We're not always going to do everything right. And that allows us to be real. And I think when people see that, that's very inviting to them to realize they don't have to just be perfect as well. They can come just like they are, and God can meet them right where they're at.
You'll find services on both Saturday and Sunday at Grace Family Church, so check it out.
Grace Family Church, now with 8 locations, the newest at State Route 54 and Suncoast Parkway.
This is Paul Porter for Second Time Sports at 2104 Main Street, right next to Walmart, just west of Belcher Road. You can save big on new or gently used sports equipment from hockey to soccer to baseball. They're now selling and renting gently used bicycles. Don't pay retail at the chain sports stores. Check out the large selection at Second Time Sports at just a fraction of the cost. Second Time Sports, 2104 Main Street, next to Walmart, just west of Belcher Road. Call them at 727-784-0007 and tell them what you're looking for.
Have you been looking for a place to get a Vienna all-beef hot dog without having to travel all the way to Tampa? Now you can get that delicious hot dog in its casing that snaps when you take your first bite. I think Vienna all-beef hot dogs are the best there are. And I'm happy to tell you that you can now find them in Pinellas at Dade Dogs on the southeast corner of State Route 580 and McMullen Booth Road in Safety Harbor. Family owned and operated. Check them out at daddydogs.com. That's Daddy, DAWGS.com. Try it and you can thank me later. And don't forget to save room for Hershey's ice cream. Calling all legal eagles and radio aficionados. Join us for a weekly legal whirlwind on WTAN 1340 AM, Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. Airs every Saturday at 2 p.m. Candace delves into hurricane-related matters, property insurance law, and sizzling legal topics. It's the town's hottest legal and lively show. Tune in and sweeten your Saturday.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. And I want to say hello to Randy watching on Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us, Randy. And also, Jason, what do Lightning broadcaster Dave Mishkin and a blind squirrel have in common?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
That's the name of his book that he has out. Dave Mishkin has written a novel called The Blind Squirrel.
Called The Blind Squirrel?
Yeah. And it's all about a hockey player that has had struggles because of the death of his parents and how he kind of turns the corner and gets a healthy mental state after a lot of difficult times. So
interesting.
It's his book. And he is going to be signing that book out on Ford Thunder Alley this afternoon at 2:15.
Nice. Okay.
So if you can pick up a copy, or if you already have a copy and want to get it signed, Dave Mishkin, friend of the show, who I'm going to get on the program soon because he's just been busy every Saturday. Lightning have been playing every Saturday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get him on the program soon.
That's nice. Is it a true story or fictional story?
It's a fictional story based on inspired by a true story.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a minor league hockey player that really does a lot of struggling. And a lot of people don't realize, but Dave Mishkin started out with the Hershey Bears and actually did some college hockey prior to that, but started out with Hershey and then came to the Lightning from there.
How about that? Yeah. Wow.
So just looking on ESPN, they're showing the Kia Center that will be hosting Game 4 this afternoon. So not too far away, 1:00 tip-off.
I thought they changed the sponsor. Wasn't it the Amway Center?
Yeah, it was the Amway Center for a long time. But this year it became the Kia Center.
Well, that's news to me. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Let's go back to the phone lines. Al is waiting for us. Hello, Al. You're on the home team.
Yeah, the injuries this year in Major League Baseball is the worst I've ever seen since I've been watching baseball.
It's bad. It's bad. Of course, the Rays have a lot of players injured, but overall, key players have been injured. You're right, Al.
What do you attribute that to, Al?
Like I told you, they start too early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
They instead of them training, they're out there playing baseball first day of spring training.
I would also argue they start too early in life. I mean, I would say that players from their teenage years, the workouts, the pushing their bodies to the limit, that you start that at a young age. I think you could have the body start to break down well before it should.
Yeah, there's another thing they got to do something with these umpires. These umpires are ridiculous.
How about Aaron Boone getting thrown out when the umpire thought he was yelling at him when it was really a fan from the stands? That was a good one.
Yeah, you know what? They're like Gestapo. These umpires are like Gestapo agents. They tell the players, you say something, you're gone.
Like I guess in Aaron Boone's case, he even if he doesn't say anything, he's gone.
The manager says the guy didn't go around, but he held up, and the guy he didn't go out, and they said he went around. They call him out. It cost these people games, and these umpires, they don't care.
What
they're the big cheese out there.
What do you think?
What they want to do?
What do you think the fan thought that was making those comments, knowing that he got the Yankees manager ejected?
Well, you would think he would say, "Hey, no, that was me." What is the umpire? The umpire can't throw out a fan. I mean, unless he's using.
He could. Yeah.
Well, if he's using profanity or something, but if he's just heckling him, telling him what a bad job he's doing, you can't throw a fan out for that. But if I were the fan, I would try to make, "Hey, no, it was me."
Yeah.
He could have said, "Hey, it was me, stupid. Look at you. You can't even hear straight."
But I think the umpire out of
they don't pay no attention to nobody.
Yeah.
Control everything.
And the umpire is not going to want to admit that he misheard a fan for
although
the manager.
I think he did, but he did afterwards. I think he was forced to. I mean, when he addressed it, he had to admit he made that
afterwards. But he didn't want to do it in front of 60-some thousand people.
Yeah.
You know what? This year is the dumbest player. I think this year is Judge. He ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get rid of him.
Well, they just signed him to a huge contract, so
they're going to have him.
Hey, look at all that money. He can't buy a hit.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the Timberwolves, they went 3-0 last night.
Yeah. They're on the verge of sweeping the Suns. They're looking good right now. Very good.
Yeah, what do you think? You think they got a shot at this?
Oh yeah, they definitely
Very much
do.
So.
They definitely do.
They're a high. What are they? They're the number 3 seed, I think, in the West. They're behind. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Denver's the number 2 seed, and Oklahoma City's the 1 seed. Well, you figure the West. I mean, other than Denver, who won it all last year, those other teams kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, to be that good.
Salary cap. Again, makes the better teams worse and the worst teams better.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers are on the verge of being swept today. If they
I don't feel
lose
bad.
To the
I don't
Nuggets.
feel bad for them. They've won too much anyway.
Yeah.
Lakers been there too long.
There you go. Yes, thank you. They've won enough.
Yeah, a lot of people will be.
For a change, get some new teams in there.
Yeah, hey, that's what I like. In the NBA, we've always seemed to see the same teams over and over again. But recently, there has been some more parity. The teams that have won the titles have been different.
Suns used to be so good, but it looks like they found their match this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Al, always good to hear from you. Thanks so much for checking in with us.
All right. Take care.
Thanks,
right,
Al.
You do the same. Another sad point, and a lot of people say that as you get older, this happens more and more. But Bob Kloppenberg, who was an assistant with the Cleveland Cavaliers back in the early 80s when I was with them, passed away this week. He was 96, I believe.
Wow.
But Bob Kloppenberg had the greatest collection of hotel room soaps of anybody I knew.
Oh, that's great.
Because they would stay at pretty decent hotels,
Yes.
and he would always take the soaps out.
With them.
And Bob actually told me, he says, I have 1 bar of soap that I use for the entire season. And then I just take all the soaps that are in the hotel room.
See, I'm the difference. I have real sensitive skin. My skin sometimes breaks it. So I always take my own soap to the hotels.
But you don't take the soaps from the hotel.
No. I take my own soaps to use at the hotels, but I don't take the soaps with me from the hotels.
Well, but he told me towards the end of the season that he had collected, I want to say it was like 300 and some bars of soap.
I wonder, did he contact the Guinness Book of World Records? They have records for everything. I mean, could a guy who has the biggest collection of soap, he could have at least tried for that, I wonder.
I mean, he would just enjoy that. And then he would go take them home and he wouldn't use them. I mean, he would just a collection, and he would still buy soap and use the soap that he bought.
Fascinating. That's interesting. I love that story.
Yeah, that's a little known fact about Bob Kloppenberg, but I loved him dearly. And then he was an assistant coach along with Gerald Oliver back in the early 80s. And Gerald had a unique little persona about him as well. the team gave you like, I think, forget what it was back then. It was like $30 or $40 a day in meal money. So that while you're on the road, you can go to a restaurant. Of course, prices weren't as high back then as they are now. So they would pass out cash in envelopes, and you'd get like $40 for every day you're going to be on the road. Well, Gerald Oliver, his wife would pack him peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Not bad.
And we'd be on the plane, and Gerald would get out his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and he'd start eating. And everybody was kidding him, like, Coach Oliver, what are you doing? You got your per diem, go to a nice restaurant. And he goes, no, I'm keeping the money, huh? I got myself a sandwich. My dear wife made me a sandwich, and I'm
save up. Think about that. The whole season long, there are a lot of games. So that money, if he takes his own meal,
41 road games, and you're on the road for about 70 to 80 games a day or a year.
That's a smart man.
Yeah, it came out. He'd had over $3,000 at the end of the season.
Baby, how about that?
Just from his meal money.
There you go.
So,
wow.
Yeah, some interesting stories about people that love to save their per diem,
and things
save the soap,
and stories you only hear here on the home team.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
Very true.
Yeah,
very true. We need to hit a break, and then we will be back with our final segment of the home team. Stay with us. More of the home team coming up. Phone lines open 727-441-3000. If you want to get a quick call in, now is the time. More of the home team on the TAN Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the TAN Talk Radio Network.
Hi, Paul Porter here. I've known Bobby Maggie for years, and he's always supported the home team. Tax season is here, and at Maggie Tax, you can let the professionals prepare your taxes. Taxes will be going up, and now is the time to do tax planning. No appointments necessary, and 3 locations that you can drop off your tax info and go. Visit Maggie Tax for more information or call Bobby Maggie at 727-799-1701. Pay less tax with Maggie Tax. It's not a slogan, it's what they do. Mention Paul Porter and the home team, and you'll get $25 off your tax preparation. That number again, 727-799-1701. 727-799-1701. Now is a great time to shop your homeowners and auto insurance. Alliance Mutual Insurance can lower your cost on insurance during these challenging economic times. Alliance Mutual, an independent agency, is in the Tampa Bay area, locally owned with over 20 years experience. They have access to dozens of independent carriers and can find the lowest price with the highest quality coverage. Citizens is not your only option. Call or text Jamie Brown, a home team listener and supporter, at 727-637-2341. That's Jamie Brown at 727-637-2341.
Honest Mahoney's. That's what people have been calling LZ Mahoney for more than 35 years. Honest LZ Mahoney. The name really says it all. Mahoney's Auto Repair is a place you can trust. In fact, it was some of his loyal customers that came up with the name. Generations of people who've been taking their cars to 4040 54th Avenue North for 3.5 decades. Do you need some work done on your car? If his loyal customers call him Honest Mahoney's, that should tell you something right there. The next time you need work done on your car, take it to my friend LZ Mahoney's. He's been a part of the home team for nearly 20 years. Mahoney's Auto Repair. Or just remember Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, a place that people have called home for more than 35 years. Honest Mahoney's, 4040 54th Avenue North in St. Petersburg.
Now you can get that delicious Vienna all-beef hot dog in Pinellas County at Daddy Dogs on the southeast corner of McMullen Booth Road and State Route 580 in Safety Harbor. They feature 10 different types of hot dogs with over 25 different toppings. Hershey's ice cream, too. Now you don't have to drive to Tampa to get the best hot dog there is. Check out their menu at daddydogs.com. That's daddy, DAWGS.com. Family owned and operated. daddydogs.com. Thank goodness it's Thursday. That's what they're celebrating every last Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at Raw Space Collaborative. It's a chance to network with other businesses and make some new friends. If you're looking to network your business, don't miss TGIT at Raw Space Collaborative, 6013 Wesley Grove Boulevard, Building 2, Suite 208 in Wesley Chapel. Check out rawspaceco.com for all the details. See you last Thursday of the month from 4:30 to 8 p.m. at Thank Goodness It's Thursday. Looking to buy or sell a home but don't know where to turn? Paul Porter here from Molliana Ward and the team at Innovation Realty Group. They're ready to work for you. New construction, buying, or selling an existing home, they can do it all. They serve our entire listing area. Uncompromising integrity combined with savvy negotiating is what you'll find at Innovation Realty Group. Visit their website, innovationgroupfl.com. That's innovationgroupfl.com. Or call 813-802-8415 to speak directly with Molliana. My new windows from FAS Windows and Doors are in. I couldn't be happier with the job they did, from measuring perfectly to prompt and exact installation. How did I choose FAS over all the other window companies? I've known Ernie and John Wilding for nearly 20 years. They're Central Florida and West Central Florida's largest volume window and door dealer, with showrooms and distribution facilities in both Tampa and Orlando. As you know, I never endorse a product or service unless I've used them or thoroughly researched them. Their objective is providing the best quality windows and doors on the market at reasonable prices with a customer service level that is unsurpassed in the industry. Never an obligation when you call 866-737-7173 or visit them on the internet at faswd.com. Call 866-737-7173. You'll be glad you did. I sure am.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome into our final segment of the home team. It's been a good show, and I want to thank Rock Riley for joining us on the program today, and all of you who have watched on Facebook Live. We appreciate that. Hello, Patrick. He's watching from north of the border. Glad to have him with us. DJ Bolt was watching. Of course, he'll be playing the music at the Lightning game coming up this afternoon, so we'll look forward to that. And again, we want to remind you of our Mother's Day contest next Saturday. 3 moms are going to be honored with gift certificates to the Palm Pavilion at Clearwater Beach, and you could be one of them. Now, it's very simple. All you don't have to know anything about sports, but you do have to call the program and let us talk to you. And you may be one of the 3 ladies we select to honor with lunch or dinner for 2 at the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach. That's next Saturday that'll be happening. Also want to mention, Jason, that today could be the final game of the season for the Tampa Bay Lightning, depending on what happens. And I think this will happen, but I think we should send them off, win or lose, whatever happens today, with a rousing welcome and a rousing thank you for the 2023-24 season.
Absolutely.
And come out there and show your support. They've been in the playoffs now a lot. They've won 2 Stanley Cups. They played for a third, all in 3 years' time. Come out and show these guys that you appreciate them. From Stamkos, I mean, we don't know. This could be the final game that Steven Stamkos plays in the Lightning uniform.
Yeah, this team has been tremendous, really under the new ownership of Jeff Vinik and what they've done through all these years. And, I think sometimes the fans tend to get spoiled. When your team wins several championships or are in the Stanley Cup Finals or in contention, you expect that every year. That's not realistic. And all teams are eventually going to hit down patches where you have to rebuild a little bit. I don't think the Lightning are ever going to be in a position under this ownership where they're going to be terrible or bad. Mm-hmm. I think they're always going to be at least in playoff contention, even if they're not championship material. But this has been another strong season. I mean, you figure their goalie, Andrei Vasilevsky, he missed first part of the season with back injury. He's coming back, takes him a while to get back into it. There was inconsistencies at times, but They made a run. They made the playoffs. It's been a hard-fought series, even if it comes to an end against the Panthers. Every game has been close. They've given it their all. So they're still a very strong team. And you figure the fan support, they've had how many consecutive sellouts? So they've certainly captured the the affection of the whole Tampa Bay area for a long time now.
For sure. And want to mention, if you don't have a ticket for the game today, you can still be a part of it all by going to the Ford Thunder Rally, which is right outside the box office there. Tickets are just $5 there, and you can be a part of watching the game with other Lightning fans and cheering them on. And it's nice to be inside the arena, but, it's going to be some nice weather by about 6 or 7 o'clock this evening. A nice night to sit out and enjoy the Lightning as they try and keep their season alive and hopefully do that and end up with another game on Monday night. If they do win today, they'll play Monday night down in South Florida. So hopefully they're able to do that.
And there's also another good way to do it. If you can't make it down there, the game's going to be broadcast on Valley, so you can listen to Dave Reardorf and Brian Inglom on the call.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The game will be on Valley for the first round. And then again, with the Magic today, they tip off in just over 2 hours from now at 1 o'clock, and they have a chance to square their series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Yep. And if, as we talked about at the top of the show, Jason, if the Magic can find a way to win this one today, then it really gets interesting because it becomes a 2 out of 3 series.
That's right. And the Magic have the momentum, having won 2. And I think the fact that they won by the margin that they did really is impressive because, I think that sends a message that despite being still down 2-1, that sends a message the Magic could be the better team to win by that margin. Now, that could just be one game where Cleveland just did not. Yeah, Cleveland didn't play well. Magic, everything was going right. They could change it. Crucial that the Magic win today to tie it up, though, because it'd be very tough, to go back to Cleveland being down 3-1. Then you're asking a lot. So they need to win it today.
Let me mention, if you have not seen Paolo Banchero play, who was the Magic's number 1 pick 2 years ago, you really need to check this guy out. He was just on fire the other night, and the basket looked like it was 30 feet wide for him. He just couldn't miss. Everything he threw up was going in, and he was really taking charge. And I want to tell you something that I really am liking, and I'm seeing it it started with Jalen Suggs, and now Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner are doing it too. They are urging the fans on and waving for them to get louder and get louder. And the fans have responded. It was so loud inside the Kia Center on Thursday night, and fans are really responding. And it's really become a tight-knit team with their fans. Jamal Mosley has mentioned over and over that the fans are just unbelievable in Orlando.
Yeah, they Magic have done a good job recently of drafting, and obviously when you have the number 1 overall pick, there's a lot of pressure to get that right. And there were a couple of other players in the mix there. I know I think was it Chet Holmgren who went to Oklahoma City. The other player from Auburn, Paolo Banchero was actually, I don't think, the odds-on favorite for them to get.
No, he was not.
But they did their research. They vetted all the players the best they could, and it looks like they got that one right. Because I think Banchero is absolutely a star in the making. He's already a very good player, and the hope is he's going to become a superstar. Because in the NBA, to be a championship caliber team, you really have to have at least one superstar on your team. And you're supported by other very good players, but at least one of them has to stand out as being one of the elite players. And I think Banchero can become that.
My understanding, too, is that there's a couple of players that are probably not going to be back, possibly Markelle Fultz and Gary Harris, that are going to become salary cap casualties. But if they jettison those 2 players, they would have enough money free to go after a free agent that would be Paolo Banchero 1A.
Well,
it could be another superstar.
We know from the past the Magic did a great job of bringing in free agents, and free agents are going to want to go to an up-and-coming, a team that they know is on the rise. That's what attracts free agents, and the Magic are absolutely a team on the rise. They're a young, talented team. They were a 5th seed this year, almost a 4th seed in the playoffs. That's the type of team that I think a really solid free agent can look at and say, well, if I go to this team, we could become championship material very quickly.
And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if the person that I'm talking about, that 1A, is Mr. Donovan Mitchell, currently with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
If he is an unrestricted free agent this year, and he has already said that he is not looking to re-sign with Cleveland, if the Magic win this series, Donovan Mitchell may be the perfect fit to that puzzle because of how you described it, Jason, of a player looking for a team that's on the upswing.
Bingo.
That he could join and really put them over the top.
It's exciting.
So keep an eye on that.
Exciting for the Magic right now. Very good to see that.
Well, let's see what happens today, and we will talk with you again next Saturday, our Mother's Day contest next Saturday at 9 o'clock. Mike Rickard and the Sports Connection coming up next right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Go Magic, go Lightning, go Rays, and we'll talk to you next Saturday on the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook Live.